And we are live. What's going on? Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube Live. It's your boy Billy Rowe. I'd like to welcome you to the first row. Today is Wednesday. And if it's Wednesday, you should know what that means. It's time for the Wednesday word. That's Wednesday word. Jumping straight into it. Tonight's topic is stop the show. I just kind of wanted to be dramatic this time. But tonight's topic is stop the show. As always, I like to explain what I mean by my topic. So, with the topic stop the show, what do I mean? What I mean is not the show like, we're not watching a movie and just stopping the show abruptly. What I actually mean is the show of social media. So, what I found probably, I don't even know if it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, in the world of social media was that there were tons. I mean, tons of gurus, tons of people, tons of, hey, Bruni, tons of all kinds of just videos on people really just showing off, showing the things that they have, whether it's money, cars, houses, almost like this hyper culture of MTV Cribs, for lack of a better term. So you got to be old enough to know what MTV Cribs is. But in that, what I also found is how easy it is for us to gravitate towards those visuals, gravitate towards that boastful type of mentality, and actually start to do things that damage our ability to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves. So when I say stop the show, what I mean is stop trying to keep up with social media. So tonight on the first row, I have 3 tools for you on the first row. First row. I don't know why I keep saying roll, but the first row that I want to share with you when it comes to stop the show. And so let's jump straight into it. The very, very first tool that I came up with when it was in regards to stop the show is be selective about your role models. And why is this important? Be selective about your role models really is about deciding where you want to focus, deciding what you're going to pay attention to, and almost in some aspects, deciding the types of behaviors you're going to mirror or match or emulate. And so being selective, why that's so important is because if you select the wrong role model and you decide to emulate that person, what happens is now you get the results, unfortunately, that may not align with what you truly want. Good examples of this are when you, hey, what's going on, casual? Are good examples of this are when you may see somebody who is like, let's say, a fitness guru. And this is not all fitness gurus. Please understand, I don't mean this is everybody. But sometimes what will happen is we will select a role model that's a fitness guru, and we will say that, man, that's who I want to be like. I want to be just like them. And this fitness guru is doing things that are related to fitness, but they may have cheated or shortcutted the process. So if the fitness guru decided that they were going to go under a bunch of different surgeries, and now they have this perfect, and I use that very loosely, perfect body or perfect image in your opinion, now they're saying, oh, all you got to do is 15 crunches a day and you can look just like me. Oh, and don't forget to take my class. And oh, and don't forget to buy my protein drink. Oh, and don't forget to buy these workout clothes. And then you don't get those results. This is why it's important to be selective of who your role models are, because what ends up happening is when, again, you select the wrong role model or you select somebody who is presenting as if something is one way, but it is truly another way, you're going to be left high and dry, and honestly, probably going to lead to a road of failure. I actually was on YouTube back when Bill Cosby was arrested and taken to prison. And whether he was innocent or guilty, that's irrelevant for me to this story. That's irrelevant. But what was very interesting is I remember sitting on YouTube and I was watching a live show. And as I was watching this live show, this relationship guru kind of comes on and he's talking about relationships and how you can get this girl if you do this thing and all that different stuff. And it's not that I wanted to get girls at the time. It just was I was trying to figure out how YouTube works and what's the best approaches that you can take. And out of nowhere, the relationship guru just kind of like broke down and started crying. And he was crying emotionally because he was hurt that Bill Cosby had went to prison. And this is again why we have to be selective about who we choose as our role models and why we choose them as our role models. This guy was hurt because in his eyes and in his mind and his experience, Bill Cosby was one of the only father figures that he had in his life growing up. But it wasn't Bill Cosby that was the father figure. It was Dr. Cliff Huxtable, the fictitious character that Bill Cosby played. And so Bill Cosby, the human, is an everyday person. He makes mistakes. He's not infallible. His life is not scripted. But Dr. Cliff Huxtable, his life is scripted. There's a very, very concise beginning, a very concise conflict, a very concise solution, a very concise conclusion when it comes to Dr. Huxtable. But his focus was so much on Dr. Huxtable and Bill Cosby being the same person that when the real life person went to prison, it just was devastating for him because his father figure in his mind was going to prison. This again is why we have to be selective about our role models. I'm not saying you can't have a celebrity as a role model, but what I am saying is that you do have to decide if you are rolling with this person because the fictitious character that they play, or you're rolling with this person because you know the things that they're doing in real life that really resonate with you. And so that's another area. And then the last area with this particular one is one of the things that I always look at, and it comes to doing with image, like our physical image. A lot of times I hear people, oh man, I want to be like Kim Kardashian. Oh man, I want to be built like The Rock when he was a wrestler. I want to be built. I want. And not necessarily with The Rock, because The Rock actually goes to the gym and works out. However, when it comes to things like, the Kardashians and trying to have that level of beauty, I seen a comedian once who put on, I think it was Kylie Jenner's lipstick, and she was like, this lipstick is supposed to make me look like Kylie Jenner, and she puts this lipstick on and she's just like, how do I look? You still look the same way you look, just your lips are red now. And a lot of times people are striving for this image, striving for this identity of the role models that they're setting. But unfortunately, especially when it comes to looks, a lot of these people don't look like they would look in their natural state because of cosmetic surgery. Now, whether you decide you want to get cosmetic surgery or not, that's your thing. My theory is when you get me, you get what you get, and if you don't like it, then you can get on. That's how I feel about it. But if cosmetic surgery is for you, great. You do that path, you do that route, and do that for you. But realize when you're setting these role models and these people that you want to look like or you want to emulate, whether it's a behavior or physical, realize that in some cases they are not the person that they don't even know what type of person they would be because they were emulating something else, or they gave into a standard of beauty, or gave into a standard of intellect, or gave into a standard of thought that wasn't really organically or authentically them. So I know that's a lot to unpack in the very first tool, but it was very important to unpack all of that. So I just wanted to make sure I got all of that. So again, overall, tool number one, be selective about your role models, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Make sure that you know who you're modeling or emulating your behaviors after, if it's anything outside of yourself. Moving on, tool number two. Second tool when it comes to stop the show is determine your objective. And what I mean by determine your objective is simply one of two things. Do you want results, or do you want attention? If you determine one of those two things, I promise stopping the show and stopping that pursuit of social media, I guess social media to create a social media lifestyle or create a lifestyle that matches what you see on social media. Determining your objective. If you determine you want results, I promise you probably won't be looking very much at social media. If you determine you want attention, man, go to social media. It'll tell you all the kinds of ways that you can get attention. But I will tell you that some of that stuff comes at a cost. I seen a video once where there was a lady, and I don't know where she got her money from. It was during the time of stimulus. So at that point, I believe everybody was balling at that point. So she's, in her car, waving her money around in front of the camera, ha, 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 ha. And somebody comes up and grabs her money, takes it, and takes off running. Again, do you want attention? Because that got attention. It didn't get the attention that she wanted to get. It got the attention for somebody who said, hey, there's an opportunity to grab a couple grand out of this person's hands whose windows are down, and she's flashing her money. She's not paying attention. She's looking at the camera. And when they took her money, all of a sudden it got real, and she was trying to get out of her car. Person took off running. Now, if you want results, this is where I recommend you focus. If you want results, once you determine that that's your objective is to gain results, all of a sudden, um, it's not about what you're showing people. It's not about what you're doing. I just put a post up, I think last week that I put a post up, and I was talking about the book Fire Your Job, Hire Your Passion, just recently released. And I started off with, hey, remember in 2021 when I said I was going to write a book? Yeah, you probably don't remember that because I didn't say that to a lot of people. I kept that very close to my chest because I wasn't worried about, hey, I'm about to write a book. Let me create some attention. I'm about to write a book. Let me make a post that I'm about to write a book. I was focused on writing the book. I was focused on the results. And the results now is that there's a book out called Fire Your Job, Hire Your Passion. You could go to firstrow.com and grab your copy if you don't have one. Shameless plug. But the results is now there's a book out in regards to what I was trying to accomplish. Not just a bunch of posts about me getting ready to write a book, me getting ready to write a book, me getting ready to write a book. No book. The other thing is when it comes to results, one of my favorite things that I love to do is dance. I love, 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 love dancing. I don't go out dancing as much now, but when I do go out dancing, one of the places you will probably be able to find me on the dance floor. I'm sorry, you'll be able to find me on the dance floor probably like 90% of the time. I don't care if there's people on the dance floor dancing. As long as there's music playing, I'm probably on the dance floor unless I don't like the song. But it's my love for dancing that takes me out. The result is I love to dance. So I go out dancing, then I'm on the dance floor. I don't go out for attention and just stand against the wall and try to talk to people and try to draw attention to myself. I'm not even dancing to draw attention to myself. Now, the overall outcome ends up being, and when you're the only person on the dance floor dancing by yourself and don't need anybody, is that you draw attention. However, the type of attention that you draw is not typically negative attention. It's typically positive attention in which other people are inspired and want to dance. This is why we have to choose and determine our objective, is because if we want attention, I could go out there and act a fool and draw attention to myself, but that's not going to necessarily inspire people to want to have a good time. But when I'm going out with the intention of having the result of just going out to dance and have a good time, enjoy music, now all of a sudden, when I'm out there by myself, people start migrating to the dance floor. And it's not that I'm like starting the party or anything like that, but the natural inclination of being on the club, if you've ever been in a club, is that, ooh, I don't want to be the first one out there. Me, I'm like, sign me up. Dance floor is empty. That means I have all the space that I need to bust a groove however I choose. So that's the second tool, is determine your objective. Determine if you want attention or results. I'm always going to recommend try to go for results, not attention, because again, that attention is going to get you something, but it may not get you what you want, or it may cost you the results that you truly want to seek. And then tool number 3, I almost said 2, but tool number 3, when it comes to stop the show, is be in it for you. Man, I'm going all the way back to the beginning of this, talking about social media. It's easy to see on social media people taking trips around the world, getting beautiful sunsets, having money, nice cars, nice houses, eating fine dining, all those things. But what a lot of people are not posting on social media is their sadness, is the disappointment, is some of the challenges that they're faced with. Now, there are some people that are, but there's not a lot of people. If you go down a timeline, you're going to see the majority of positive, 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 and a couple of spurts of maybe some challenges, negative or difficult times, negativity or difficult times. But this is why being in it for you is so important. There's so many opportunities to pursue whatever you want to pursue on social media, whatever kind of identity, whatever kind of lifestyle you want to live. There's so many opportunities to pursue that. But the harder part, or the harder thing it is to determine outside of that noise who you truly want to be. And this is why I say be in it for you, is because at some point in our lives, at some point in our journey, we have to decide that we're enough, that we are enough, that what Tom has, what Sarah has, what Jesse has, what whoever else has that's not who we are, that's for them. But the things that we have, the gifts that we have internally, I'm not talking about the physical things that we have. I'm talking about the gifts that we have internally, that those gifts are enough. And those gifts are valuable enough for us to be in it for ourselves. Now, a lot of people might call that being somewhat selfish, because now, oh, I can't I don't have to look at anybody else. I'm the standard. I'm the example. No, I'm the standard and I'm the example for me. Now, fortunately, because I have a platform and I do a lot of content and I have a book now and I have children, I'm also trying to set an example, not the standard, difference between standard and example. I'm trying to set an example for those that I love and care about, for those who are interested in growth and development, for those who are interested in leadership in the aspect of being able to lead their own lives. Be in it for you. Be enough for you to where you don't find yourself running to social media to try to figure out who you need to be. See, the fortunate thing about knowing who I am and knowing that I'm worthy and that I have a worth that nobody else can match for me. Look, if I'm not here, guess what? Nothing in my life continues to happen. My life is valuable. My time is valuable. My energy, my focus, my effort, everything that I do has a value to it. And to me, that value is unmeasurable. The reason it's unmeasurable is because, again, if I can't do it, that means I'm not here. And if I'm not here, that means I'm gone, like dead and gone. And so at some point, I think people confuse what they can get from others on social media as a means of creating value for themselves. Oh well, one of my favorite, I don't even call him an arch nemesis. He's not an arch nemesis, but I just didn't agree with him when he was on social media. Derek Jackson, who was always Team Jackson, what's happening? What's happening? And he would just be bashing men and bashing men and bashing men. And there were certain things that I could agree with him on. But there were other things that I was like, yeah, I don't do that. And that doesn't make me a bad man because I don't do that. Why? Because I wasn't seeking for Derek Jackson or anybody else on social media to tell me who I was and how valuable the things that I do and bring into the world are. Yeah, that's not for him to quantify. That's for me to quantify. So that's what I got for you guys today. I really, really hope you guys have enjoyed the Wednesday word. Really quick, we're going to go over the 3 tools for the first row. Tool number 1, and when it comes to stop the show, is be selective about your role models. Not every behavior that is modeled is for you, and not every person modeling behavior is living that behavior. So be very selective on who you choose to model your choose as your role model. Tool number 2, determine your objectives. Again, you can either get attention or you can get results. I'm always going to recommend get the results. And then tool number 3 is be in it for you. It may sound a little bit selfish, but again, make the choice that you are reason enough to do the things that you want to do in life, that you are worthy enough, that you are valuable enough to do the things that you want to do in life. Now, as always with the Wednesday word, I like to share a brief story on what got me thinking about this particular topic. And a lot of things right now, because of where I'm at in life, are surrounding this book, Fire Your Job, or my book. I gotta stop calling it this book. My book, Fire Your Job, Hire Your Passion. And what got me thinking about stopping the show in this aspect was during my journey of writing Fire Your Job, Hire Your Passion. During my journey in creating this book, it was I want to say it was easy to create the words. It was easy to write things out. But I didn't know how much it would cost financially to actually bring this book into the world. And in the midst of writing the book, I was saving a lot of money, and I still save quite a bit of money. I actually live pretty low below. I actually live pretty low below my means when it comes to financial decisions that I make. Um, but I remember going on social media one day, and I seen somebody, and I think they had like their bed in the picture, and they had like a bunch of cash just sprawled out all over their beds, or their bed, not beds, just bed. And I was like, man, it started me thinking about how much money do I have? How much money have I saved? Because I don't carry a whole lot of cash. I might carry at most $100, if that. Like normally I have zero cash. But I started thinking about their mattress and their bed, and I was like, man, I should go to the bank. And this is a stupid idea. I'm going to tell you, even though I don't like to use that word, this was a stupid idea. I should go to the bank, withdraw my money, and spread it out and see how much money I would have if I put all hundreds out on my mattress. For what? Um, I know that sometimes you guys think that, oh, Billy's got it down and he's got it all together, but I still struggle with the things that I'm talking to you guys about. And it's not always struggle with them, but I'm still human and I'm still navigating my own journey. And in thinking about that, it was like, wow, if I was to do that, then I'd have the money out and then I could start spending the money, or I could start doing things with the money. Like, let's go on a trip. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. And all this money that I would have been spending, I could have said, oh, well, I'll stop saving 25% per check. And that money would have no longer went into savings. And then what would have happened is when it came time to do the book, oh man, they would have said, okay, so when it's ready to, we're ready to publish, this is how much it's going to cost. And I would have been, well, where am I going to get that money from? Fortunately, because I chose, even though I was tempted to MTV Cribs, y'all. Uh, Brother Bruce, you're hilarious. Even though I was tempted, I chose to stay on the path that says, Billy, you're worth the investment. And I did. If you haven't caught that investing 101 Wednesday word, you might want to fall back and get that one too. But I chose that I was worth saving the money, and that I wasn't really interested in putting my money on a bed so that people could see that I have money. Because I can tell you, I ain't taking no picture with all my money. So you could be like, oh, that's the person I want to rob. Nah, I grew up in a different neighborhood. So that's not happening for me. However, in making that decision to say, I'm going to stick to the path, what it did is it created the opportunity, or the finances, the financial means to execute and seize the opportunity to write the book. Because it would be really frustrating if I would have chose attention and started living a much more lavish lifestyle, and then got done with the book and realized that that attention cost me the money that I needed as seed to get my book out there in the world. The book is doing amazing. Right now it's on, I think, number 37 on Amazon in regards to hot new releases. That's up 6 places from 30. It was 37 and now it's 31. So it's up 6 places right now. And it's not about, again, the attention. For me, it's the result is I wrote a book and it's getting to the people. I'm not interested in having a book that I can just read and say, oh man, I wrote a book. Now I can put that on the shelf and nobody knows about it. I'm interested in writing a book that I can share with the people, share stories, get the knowledge and the wisdom that I have been able to accumulate over the years out to the masses and begin to change lives. Because that's what the result that I'm after. How can I change lives? So that's what got me thinking about it. That's the story I wanted to share with you guys today. Man, I don't even know who's all in here. There's so many people in here, but I just want to thank you guys for all tuning in live. Really quick, I want to let you know, again, Fire Your Job, Hire Your Passion is now available everywhere. You can order your copy through me on firstrow.com/shop, or you can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, on Nook, on Kindle, at Walmart. There's all kinds of places you can get this book. So if you want this book, there's a way for you to go and get it. Number 2, we got some new content coming up. But before we get into the new content, I want to share something that is going to be coming soon. So on April 2nd at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm actually going to do a 2-hour Fire Your Job, Hire Your Passion Q&A for the layoff section of the book. This will be exclusively available, I cannot say this loud enough, exclusively available to each and every person that pre-ordered the book. If you bought the book on or before March 1st, I will be sending you information on how to have access to that 2-hour live Q&A with myself on April 2nd, 2022. That's a Saturday. So I'm really excited about that. And so I hope you guys are able to join and attend that, because it's going down. I'm working on the hoodies, Gina. I'll message you directly. I'm working on them. And then other than that, we actually have, before I tell you about next week's Wednesday Word, we have a new show coming next Tuesday. I told you guys maybe a couple weeks back that we were going to launch a Terrell and Michelle and Billy Rowe live. What this will be is going to be the first show on Tuesday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is going to be a show in which one of my very good friends, and actually she was my accountability partner during the writing of the book, Carolyn Michelle, is going to be joining me. We're going to be discussing a couple of topics. The first topic that we're going to end up discussing is demasculinity. And so if you want to know what that is about, you're going to have to come and find out what that's about. The second thing we're going to be talking about is what to charge for in relationships. Because her and I have been having a lot of conversations about this and as of late. And so we want to kind of bring that conversation out to the forefront, and hopefully you guys can experience some value from it. And then there'll be a third topic that we talk about, but I'm going to leave that as a secret topic. If you want to know what that is, you're going to have to be there. Join us on Tuesday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Carolyn Michelle and Billy Rowe Live. And then last but not least, next week's Wednesday Word. It will potentially be a premiere, but I might be able to do it live. It just depends on some scheduling. But it will be another Stop Wednesday Word, Stop Wasting Time. And that will be not on March 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So much going on, so much going down on the first row. I cannot wait to share the rest of this year with you guys. You guys got 52 weeks of first row Wednesday words and all kinds of content coming. So I really appreciate you guys rocking with me. As always, if you like this video, share it. If you share it, like it. I'm always happy to engage with you in the live chat. Thank you for those who have tuned in and commented during the live chat. We got my favorite comment is just the word. I'm sorry, Bruni. We got the word comment. We got Casual Economist finally caught the live again. By the way, I've been watching a lot of old content last week. I really do enjoy your work. I appreciate you binge watching because there's so many things we could be doing with our time, but I appreciate you spending your time with the first row. Brother Bruce with the 100% fire. Gina Cunningham, I almost called you by your maiden last name. Thank you. I'm your role model. I'm working on it, but I still got some work to do. So we'll work on being role models together. Bruni with the applause. Bruce with the laughing out loud. For what? Absolutely. For what? That's what took him out. Gina, you want the hoodies? I'm going to be ordering some more, and I will let you know when those are available. And Robert, I always appreciate you tuning in on LinkedIn Live. I'm definitely going to work on keeping up the great work. Love the support. Other than that, again, if you like this video, share it. If you share it, like it. I'm happy to engage with you in the comments, obviously during the live chat, but I'm also happy to engage with you in the comments if you're watching via the replay for the first 7 days that the content is up. Other than that, until the next time, again, thank you for tuning in. One love, peace, and God bless. Thanks for sitting on the first row.